morning, everybody. Welcome back to another Everyday Growth Advisors live stream. Hope you guys are having a good morning. Welcome in. Sorry, but I was sick for the past couple of days. Finally feeling a little bit better, so I am here to do this quick breakdown for you guys. And gonna keep it short as possible so that if you guys have any tickers, please put it in the comments right now so that I can get to them whenever I see them. I appreciate it. Let's dive straight in. Having a look at the S&P 500, we came down perfectly and retested our demand zone that we had projected out on the previous live stream that I had posted on Friday. We drew this little box between 4136 to 4200, which is where we said we would bounce most of the possibility. It looks like that probability is coming possible right now. If we can break and hold above 4200 today. If you get rejected at 4200, then we're likely to go down and retest this 4100 to 4080 in this region for a possible another bottom here, and then maybe possible range, or if we break below it, then we'll retest 4011 and 4060 as the next possible bounce for the S&P 500. So those are the levels that we'll be looking at heading into this next week. For this specific thing. Now, also today we have a Jackson Hole meeting from the Fed. Hopefully Powell doesn't say anything crazy in the meeting, and that's kind of what I think everybody is kind of waiting for, to see if he says anything or whatnot, which will really just kind of be one of those events which are gonna move the market a little bit based on what the Fed says. So backtest of this level here at 4200 is a good sign. It just means that we are on track to continue this bull rally. Of course, the pullback was much needed. Looking at Nasdaq, we have a similar little setup here. And one of the reasons why I feel like this might be a good bounce level for us to make the next leg to the upside is mainly because this was a nice dual zone bounce at 12,814 on Nasdaq, right? And we called this out as one of the levels of bounce other than 12,546, which was another level. So if we indeed do get a strong bounce at this level here, and we start closing above 13,337 or even 13,150, and we stay above this region the whole of today, heading into next week, then we probably have an upside extension here into 13,865 or even 14,300 to test the next resistances up here. So that should be the key levels on Nasdaq in terms of technicals. In terms of macro stuff, there isn't really much macro-driven news this week. I will say something that right now, as the name of this stream mentions, there is a bigger concentration of capital flowing into growth rather than value. And we're seeing that across the board, with the exception of one sector, which is a cyclical sector called semiconductors. And one way for me to visualize that for you is, I'm not sure if you know, but Finviz has this little feature that you can turn the S&P 500 into ETFs only. So you click on ETFs and then you click the 1 month performance, and you can get the 1 month performances of all the ETFs. So if you go into there and you have a look at what's actually truly going on in this market breadth, you'll start to realize very quickly that all of the sectors that have actually been bullish in this past month, that's really nice market breadth cadence, right? So each and every one of the sectors have been green except for semiconductors in the past 1 month. And so even, just looking at the entire market breadth here, it shows that there is still a lot of interest in these different sectors. And, as long as we all keep pushing to the upside and nobody takes any increasingly bearish positions or downside exposure, we're unlikely to see another, 10% correction or some sort, right? For people who are fear-mongering and looking for another drop down, just be very, what do you call, the word is logical to ask yourself from here all the way to the bottom, how many percent that is. That is a 16% correction once again. And we've already had a 25% correction on the S&P 500. So for us to go all the way back from that 25 and then another wave up, which was, what was it, like, I want to say 10%. And then from here to here was another 16%, right? We're looking at, what, another 16% collapse? So it doesn't quite make sense to me, okay? It doesn't quite make sense to me. So people who are fear mongering and they keep saying that, oh, we're gonna get another bear market here, and we're gonna start moving down into the 3500s or into the 3300s. To them, I say good luck with your short trade, because personally, I just don't think that is it's going to happen. I just personally don't think it. I think that the strong case for us to rally EOY or end of the year is getting stronger, but whether we get there right away is a different thing. And I think that, of course, it takes a lot more to get to the strong year-end rally. But at the same time, you have to kind of realize that it's all a matter of watching the economic numbers play out. Okay. Not to mention dollar index with the double top over here and the possible rejection to the downside. This increases and improves the situation for equities. It doesn't deprove the situation for equities, right? Remember, as I've mentioned, if the dollar is rallying, then yes, the pullback is warranted. This is what happened, right? But now the dollar is starting to sell off against, majority of other currencies, then that makes equity more, what do you call it? It makes the purchasing power of equity simpler. So we like seeing that. Sorry, my brain is still a little foggy from this stupid virus or whatever the hell is going on, but I'm trying my best here. And I think you guys have heard me explain about DXY before, so or the correlation of DXY and why we look at the dollar index when we're trading equities. If the cost of the dollar goes higher, then the purchasing power of buying stocks goes lower. Okay, so when the cost of the dollar comes lower, then the purchasing power of buying stocks goes higher. So you can buy more stocks per dollar if the dollar weakens. Okay, so keep that in mind. And then also look at the semiconductor ETF here, SOXX. If you want to look at SMH, is also another good proxy. We've been seeing quite a lot of stabilization after a big sell-off, and we are waiting for this sector to kind of rebound a little bit. The key breakout level is of course going to be this level right here, 247.28 or so is a key breakout level. Until then, we remain bearish, and then it's going to be difficult to predict where price action is going to head for semiconductors. But in the short term, we don't want to speculate between these 2 points here, because it's a fool's errand, and then there's very little price action here to really maneuver around with. A similar case with Nvidia, which I think will possibly rebound back up to 190 and then get rejected again back down. But if you look at this on the longer term, it's going to squeeze into this little upward trend channel that we have it going in. So, excuse me. We'll see, of course, where is semiconductors going to end up with, but this is one of the sectors that I'm watching very closely, because they are the underperforming sector of the whole month, right? So I like sectors that are underperforming. That's where capital will likely rotate into, rotate out of energy, for example, which has had a very great month, and then technology also pretty great month. Healthcare not so much, but we've seen a lot of these sectors really come together, and that's a good thing for continued momentum and volatility. I hope you caught XOM or XOP. We spoke about this on the live stream numerous times. Congratulations if you played it and you caught a piece of it. Great job. We personally played XOM. I still have an open position on this one, waiting for it to get to $100 so I can sell, or rather sub $100. I took off about 2/3 of the position. I have 1/3 left runners. So we're letting this one ride and see how much I can get up to, probably around 101 or so. Well, X out this position. And apart from cyclical semiconductors, I'm also watching financials for a possible rally here, breakout to the upside, and then a retest of this $37, $38 level. But then if you look at the individual financials within XLF, a lot of these have broken out, and they are showing signs of kind of consolidating in their pattern. So we really want to see if this can catch on momentum. If financials are actually going to rally here, then that says a lot more for this market, because that's going to only strengthen the case of a bull rally. When financials lead the way bullish, then everything else leads the way in terms of the bull rally. So remember, finances or finance sector is probably one of the most important sectors to keep track of when you're trading stocks in general, because they're the backbone of the economy. Okay. Perceived optimism in the financial sector is a perceived optimism in the entire stock market. So therefore, I'll be watching XLF very closely as a proxy so that we can get a better view on where this is going to be heading in the short term. Okay. All right. Now, apart from that, any other tickers that you guys want me to break down? So that's mainly, the main market breadth I covered with you guys. You have some individual stocks like Netflix, which is possibly breaking out for a gap fill up to around, I want to say, 239. That might be a good $5 play if we can get that break and hold above the high of the day yesterday, 234. Even Nvidia, if it can break and hold above 180, I would be inclined to play up to 185 more than likely. Amazon, same thing, break and hold above, let's say, 138, then we can play it up into 140 or so. AMD, bull flagging, I don't want to take this just yet, not until I see a big breakout and a pullback. And then Apple could be setting up here for possibly next wave of a fall. It hasn't quite got that second wave down yet, so I'll be cautious with Apple just so in the meantime. And Microsoft, similar looking. I want to be very cautious with these two so far, because if we're looking at things right here with the S&P 500, and this indeed was the higher high bounce, then and we don't get a lower pivot at the 40.11 or 40.60 bounce. So let's say this goes like this and then up instead of coming down first, which means bap, 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 and then bap, 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 like that, and then go higher, because that would be a two-wave combo compared to a one-wave combo. Then the third wave is going to be the biggest wave in this next little movement. So really quite interesting stuff here. We'll see if we actually do get it. And so that's why I'm being cautious on Apple and Microsoft, because they're the biggest market caps, and then you have entirely the whole market kind of data depending on it. So Airbnb, just watching this one, and yeah. Oh, and I know Tesla keeps coming up, so I'll just cover Tesla real quick. Let's see. So with Tesla, we're kind of ranging now for a couple of days, and I think it's only ranging because the price action was between these two levels after the split. So we kind of need to break out of that range. As of right now, I don't see any possible pattern or something to trade out with, but you can see pretty much a very clear hit cup and handle here right now based on what we're seeing. Very nice cup, and then kind of a weird handle. It's not really a perfect handle, but you can see kind of a handle being formed here, and I would say this handle is kind of more of a diagonal one rather than a vertical handle or a horizontal handle. So instead of your typical handle like this, it's kind of like a horizontal handle like this. And this is pretty straightforward to play. You wait for either break on either side, and you wait for the retest and confirmation before you take the trade. So I would be really careful with trading Tesla in this between these two regions. You want to wait for confirmation and then take it. So yeah, so that's all I have for you guys today. I want to keep it short and sweet, and I'll be back on Monday again. Hopefully I'll be done with my cough by then too. I'm having a really irritating cough. If you have any home remedies that you take for a cough to go away, drop them in the comments. I would love to hear what are your home remedies for getting rid of a cough. If my voice sounds like Daffy Duck, it's because I'm having a lot of sludge in my sinus. So any home ailments that you guys have, drop them in the comments so that I know. I would love to try some of those things, because for me, coughs go away very, very difficultly. But I appreciate you guys turning up, and remember, for those of you that are new here, remember to leave a subscribe and a like if this is your first time listening to the stream, and I'll see you guys back on Monday for a new refresh stream, and over the weekend be looking to make tons of content for you guys. So take care and peace out. Love you all, and see you all on Monday.